and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Political dynasties are part of our history and our culture. But could dynasties be keeping the Philippines from achieving its full potential? The following are 5 points on political dynasties in the Philippines. First, let's define dynasty as a family that has several members in elected government positions. Famous examples of political dynasties include the Lees from Singapore, the Duvaliers of Haiti, the Jungs of North Korea, the Gandhis of India, and the Kennedys and the Bushes from the United States of America. In the US, political dynasties comprise about 6% of its legislators, while in the Philippines, dynasties make up a staggering 70% of the 15th Congress, excluding the Senate. In the Philippines, a few from a long list include the Aquinos, the Marcoses, and the Arroyos. Dynasties in Congress also dominate the major political parties.
How do political families or dynasties affect governments and economies, especially in democratic countries?
Lee Kuan Yew is one of the world's longest-serving leaders, as Singapore's Prime Minister from 1959 to 1990 and Senior Minister and Minister Mentor until 2011. When his son eventually took over leadership in 2004, Singapore remained a wealthy country despite recent economic challenges. A more adverse view is the stationary bandit, where dynasties guarantee their constituents a certain level of development if only to ensure their continued political survival. In the Philippines, the Constitution expressly prohibits political dynasties as may be defined by law. However, numerous attempts at actually crafting an anti-dynasty bill have been met with either indifference or strong opposition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
According to
Welcome
their
to Philippines Uncut. I am your host, Buddy Cunanan, and in this show we talk about everything under the sun. And tonight's topic is about politics and political dynasties. And this is very timely as we've just recently concluded our midterm elections and are waiting in bated anticipation for the opening of the next Congress and President Aquino's State of the Nation address. Joining us now to talk about politics and political dynasties are two gentlemen who are very much involved in this issue. And joining us is Mr. Quintin Paredes San Diego, who is the chairman of the Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated, or MAD. Good evening, Mr. San Diego.
Good evening.
Good evening po. And joining him is Mr. Danilo Olivares, who is the co-chairman of MAD, or Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated.
Good evening.
Good evening po.
Good evening.
Welcome to Philippines Uncut, and I'm glad ho, that you are here, you two gentlemen, because this is a topic that we are really all following and a topic that we are all also very frustrated with.
That's right. Yes.
So, now to get the ball rolling, let's talk about you gentlemen muna. Starting with Mr. Quintin, tell us about your background po.
Well, I'm 73 years old, senior citizen right now. I'm still active in business. I am more a farmer than a developer. I used to be a developer, a real estate man. That's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Kayo man po, Mr. Olivares.
Well, I'm a retired activist because I've been an activist since the death or assassination of Ninoy Aquino. up to the Cory Aquino for President movement and the Noynoy Aquino for President movement, of which I was very much involved. No? But now with these dynasties flourishing all over the country, I am back in the streets fighting this evil that is the political dynasty.
Yes. Now, let's talk about your movement po, MAD, Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated. What is the mission and vision of MAD, and how was it founded? Why was it founded? Kayo po.
Well, in the beginning, we were alarmed by the people's anxiety to end political dynasties. We just talked over a cup of coffee, and then we were born as a voluntary, non-sectarian, non-political organization because we nakikiramay kami sa karamdaman ng buong bansa at that time. So that's how it was born. That was we were organized 5 months before the last election in 2013.
Okay, so relatively new organization.
New organization, yes.
Are there other organizations that are also anti-dynasty as openly and as focused as your group?
None that we know of, who are very active, no? Because as far as I know, we are the only active organization fighting dynasties. No?
Okay.
And as Mr. Santiago said, we are senior citizens, and we'd like to leave a legacy, to the youth of the country, that we are fighting dynasty, not for ourselves, but for the youth of the country.
Okay.
Dahil, alam nyo, kung itong dynasty ay magiging 100% in control of the country, anong mangyayari sa ating bansa? Anong mangyayari sa mga kabataan natin na gusto ring mag-aspire na magsilbi sa gobyerno, no? Na walang pag-asa dahil hawak na ng mga dynasties.
Ngayon, madagdagan ko, na in 1987, this was passed in the Philippine Constitution, no? And hindi pinapasa ito ng Congress and Senate, kaya hindi ito mapag-usapan talaga, ma-implement talaga. Kaya from that time on, marami na rin anti-dynasty individuals or personalities who have filed with the Congress, pero most of it were thrown out by the Supreme Court. Precisely because, as sabi ng Supreme Court, there is no enabling law. So before us...
As defined by law, that's what it says. As defined by law. It has to be an enabling law.
It's got to be defined by law.
Yes.
Nandun ang crux of the issue, no? Yung enabling law. But there were many people already in their individual capacities who have risen out and voiced their opinion and filed petitions. Kaya lang, wala silang ganitong vehicle na ginawa namin dito sa MAD. Now, we are the most organized vehicle for all of these people to come and join to really come and put an end to dynasties according to what the Constitution says.
Now, the objectives of your organization, it really is, this is primarily an awareness campaign that you're carrying, or are there other programs?
Not only awareness, because we would like Congress to pass the enabling law.
Okay.
No? But because we don't expect them to do that, we are now resorting to the People's Initiative under Republic Act 6735, which allows a people's organization to submit a bill to Congress backed by 5.2 million signatures to press Congress to finally act on it.
People's Initiative, okay.
People's Initiative under 6735, Republic Act number 6735. Kasi kung talagang aasa ka sa mga Kongreso, most of them, maybe 90% of them belong to political dynasties. So don't expect them to pass a law that will affect them adversely.
Of course, I mean, it's unreasonable to expect that they will do something against their own interests.
Exactly.
And kahit na hindi sila political, let's say, a member of a political dynasty, I'm sure most of these congressmen are thinking, yung anak ko, pagkatapos ko, gusto ko patakbuhin din, di ba? I mean, human nature.
You know, right now, out of 80 provinces in the Philippines, 70 provinces, 73 to be exact, are controlled by political dynasties. 73 out of 80 provinces.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, there are 15 million families in the entire country, Filipino families. And yet there are only 200, and these 15 million families are controlled by 250 dynasties. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
No?
Alam mo, in the beginning, ang approach namin dito is to, yun ang people's initiative because that is the requirement of law. if we gather 5.2 million signatures from registered voters. Not only that, they try to make it an impossible task. 3% should come from, of the 5.2 million signatures, 3% should come from congressional districts. So we were trying to put ourselves together to meet that task. But now, recently, after the 2013 elections, since the people were already well versed about what dynasties are, as a matter of fact, if you will notice, all the battle cry of candidates is that they are against anti-dynasty.
Or they will support.
Lahat na sila, yun ang sinisigaw nila sa kampanya.
Kahit sila ay member ng political dynasty.
Because that was the issue of this election.
Yes.
Ngayon, nagkaroon na kami ng parang evolution in the sense that since Congress is now going to convene, the 16th Congress, and through the auspices of the CBCP, who is in full support of our movement, we formed a coalition of several and individual persons, and we came up with what we will now call the People's Petition.
Okay.
So this is what we may call the People's Law,
Okay.
which we would like Congress to pass.
Okay, before we talk about that, let me ask a question. What is wrong with political dynasties? Kasi yung mga defenders naman nila sasabihin, ano masama? I mean, it's their right as citizens to run, and some of them will probably argue that we are serving our constituents. We're bringing development to our provinces. We're producing. There are results.
Yeah, if people would just have the time to sit and think about dynasties, yun ang nawala sa atin eh. We did not really try to comprehend or analyze what the dynasties would mean. It is precisely why the formers of the Constitution in 1987 included that in the Constitution to prohibit dynasties.
Pero what's wrong with it? I mean, in general, what is wrong with the political dynasty? Some people will probably say that, okay, this family is in power in the province, probably because they have been in a tradition of public service, galing pa sa lolo nila, father, it's in their blood, it's in their, hilig nila.
But that's the spirit of the Constitution, to give equal opportunity to everybody. Now, kung isang pamilya lang magkukontrol ng isang probinsya o dalawang probinsya, you're not giving opportunity to the others, equal opportunity to others, di ba?
May I butt in
Yes,
before
please.
I forget?
Please.
Through our effort, through our campaign, we sat down with a lot of academe. And these are the Asian Institute of Management, the Ateneo Academe, the De La Salle, and they have already confirmed and they have announced that dynasties is the source of number one, is the reason why there is poverty in the country because of dynasties. Number two is that dynasties is the source of corruption. Ito na nga yung pork barrel and so on and so forth. And number three, it is the source of the unequal dispensation of the law. Kasi pagka under dynasties ka, kontrolado nila batas eh.
Yes.
So they just, yun ang that is the findings.
Okay, let's talk about a case specifically. Let's say isa-isang probinsya, there's a political dynasty. How strong is the stranglehold of this family in that province? Let's say, typical. What is a typical scenario?
They control the military, they control the police, they control the judiciary, they control business. And to control all this, they need muscle and they need money. So they control the kaban ng bayan, which is the pork barrel. No?
The economy.
The economy. And walang makapasok na investors unless they have their fingers in that investment. So, in fact, ang findings ka ng itong mga institutions na ito, the poorest provinces in the country are controlled by dynasties. Why? Because they purposely want this province to remain in poverty, so makukontrol nila. So that is, for me, a very serious situation for the benefit of the country.
Yes.
We can cite names like the Singsons in Ilocos.
Of course.
The whole Ilocos province controlado nila.
The Angaras in Aurora.
The Angaras in Aurora. The Halusos in Zamboanga.
Yes, yes.
The
Makati.
The
Makati.
in Makati.
Right here in Makati, the home of
Makati.
GNN.
The Inaris in Pasig. The Eusebios.
We are not fighting these families, no. What we are just doing is we are trying to let the people know that there is such a thing as a law in the Constitution that political dynasties should not be allowed and is prohibited by law.
Yes.
That is what we want to do, and that is what we want to achieve.
But in a way, they try to do that by putting the term limits on the official. They try to. That was one of the ways to try to correct. Unlike before, people could run again and again and again for a position for life na halos.
Yeah.
Now there's a break in some.
Kaya nga palitan naman ngayon.
Yes, ngayon palitan na yan.
That's why the bill that we presented to Congress last Friday.
Will not.
Number one, bawal dapat
Ito po yung bill that
yes.
This is the People's Initiative.
Yeah.
People's Petition. Yeah.
In one sentence,
Yes.
ang battle cry namin, isa lang sa bawat angkan ang pwedeng tumakbo for any position from national to local.
Can we show it up?
No.
Can we show
Yeah.
the audience itong
So that
People's
what we're saying
Petition?
now is up to the 4th degree, whether affinity or consanguinity, hindi dapat tumakbo kung meron ng isang nakaupo.
Wow.
In other words, for example,
Radical.
I'll give you an example.
Please.
I'll go to the highest official of the land, the President, President Toynoy. Bambam Aquino is a
Incoming senator.
is a first cousin
Yes,
of the President.
Yes.
No. So that is strictly a dynasty already. No. The Binays, for example, the second highest position in government, Vice President Binay, Senator Binay, Mayor Binay, Congressman Binay. What is that? That's a dynasty.
Yes,
Very
yes.
clear. You don't even have to get a definition because this is a direct line of affinity.
So underneath this,
I mean consanguinity.
yeah.
No?
So in this People's Initiative, People's Petition, you're asking that it be, as you said, until the 4th degree. They cannot run. Another member of the clan to the 4th degree cannot run as long as there's already one in position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paano naman kung halimbawa yung isa ay, let's say, barangay chairman lang?
Even then.
I mean, this cuts across all positions regardless of who is on
yeah.
the level of the person
Yeah.
in government.
Kasi you know, isang pamilya, hindi lang naman sila binigyan ng Diyos ng talino or ng galing na magpatakbo ng isang probinsya.
Yes, yes.
Now, there are many other people who are willing but they cannot. Number one, they are afraid to run against a 30-year-old dynasty. They don't have the money that this pork barrel has given these incumbent dynasties. No? So how can you fight? No? How can you fight? Talagang very few will really dare.
Pero what about the rights of those, let's say, those members of the family? I mean, example, if I have a father who's a senator or a governor, and let's say let's say I have an uncle who's a senator or a governor, and let's say I really feel it's in my bones I want to do public service. Isn't this prejudicial to my rights naman?
No, dito sa atin, para bang, hintayin mo na lang, anak.
Oh.
Diba? Hintayin mo na lang matapos ako, then you can take your...
Kasi nga,
But
hindi
there's a
na naman
conflict
sila-
there. I mean, yes, I can see your point. Pero parang may conflict dun. Because as a citizen, all citizens have the right to run for public office. I mean,
Yes.
regardless of educational
Yes.
attainment, regardless of status in life.
That is why there is the
Yes.
petition that
No,
we
but-
are presenting.
Yes.
No? Actually, this petition has been discussed and debated
Yes.
for the last 27 years. And there is no one good definition of what dynasty means. Diba? So, if we are going to pursue our 5.2 million signatures, we have agreed that we have to have one petition. And still, there are so many other petitions right now filed in Congress, which is different from ours, which is the 2nd, the 4th degree. Pero ang amin dito is just to have an enabling law
Yes, yes.
to prohibit
Yes.
dynasty.
Mr. Alvarez?
But there is one word you forgot when you said everybody is equal, then everybody has the right
Yes.
to serve the country,
run for office.
position. You're forgetting one word, equal. Equal right.
Opportunity.
Equal
Pero
opportunity.
sabihin naman, anak, kasalanan ko ba na ito yung uncle ko or tatay ko? It's not my fault if
but
I'm
that-
related to
but
this
that's an
person.
advantage against another person who wants to serve the country also.
Yes.
Wala siyang equal right na.
Yes,
No?
yes.
Because this family, imagine,
Controls.
let me give you a figure. No? How much, for example, the Cayetano dynasty, 2 senators and 1 congressman and
Mayor
1
also.
mayor.
Mayor,
huh?
yes.
How much money are they handling of the people's money? two senators, 200 million each a year. The congressman, 70 million a year.
The mayor.
Iba pa yung
IRA.
as committee heads of various committees.
Wala pa yung budget insertions that no one sees.
Yung IRA, 400 million.
So, ano ang laban ng isang Juan de la Cruz, who is equally well-educated, talented person,
Or even more qualified.
or even more qualified, against the Cayetanos? How can you? There's no equal word. That's the word, the equal opportunity.
But okay, this position, I mean, this petition that the gentleman filed, you're asking basically to level the playing field.
Correct.
And create equal opportunity for everyone.
Exactly.
But people say that, you know, in this life, in this society, in our world, you know, it's really an unfair world. I mean, true equality can never really be had. So, I mean, that being said, are you optimistic that this how optimistic are you, gentlemen, that this petition will fly, will prosper?
Well, we've gone all over the country, and people are really fed up with the dynasties controlling them. No? I'll give you an example again. We'll name more names. No? We were in Iriga, in Camarines Sur, the Alfelores. No? And people there we talked to, church people, ordinary people were saying that, you know, they have governed us for 30 years. And we're sick and tired. Natalo si Alfelor. Because we went there, we talked to them, and they signed the signature campaign. And
it's a big groundswell. There really is a groundswell.
No? But how many people are that vocal about being against dynasties? No?
Another
Because
question.
there is fear.
Another question. In Congress, do you have champions who are willing to support this? Sitting senators or sitting congressmen who are actually willing to support it. Are there?
I think among the party list there are. Among the party list.
As
Sa
a matter
party
of
list,
fact-
it's hard to have a
matter of
dynasty.
fact,
within the party list.
Exactly. Because walang dynasty.
Walang
yung mga
dynasty
yan,
yung
no?
party
As a matter of
list.
fact, we have heard senators
Yes.
say something like Miriam Defensor Santiago. She's against this, and so many other congressmen. You see, so what we anticipate here is they are going to call for a hearing among all the petitioners, and this will be debated on again. Yun lang ang gusto namin, na magkaroon na ng batas. Whatever may be, whether it's a second degree, a fourth degree.
Pero, as you said, this thing has been debated for 27 years.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, can something positive come out of this? Can
yeah.
a real enabling law, a significant, effective enabling law come out of this?
Yes, because it is in the Constitution.
No, but
As a matter of fact,
realistically-
the
Ako,
Congress and Senate.
Ako personally, no. Because sabi nga, I think it was Chis Escudero who said na kanya-kanyang version yan, no? to their own advantage.
Oh, okay.
And so maybe there will be a law, but it will be to their advantage, maybe hanggang second degree lang.
Let me ask you another question. If you're not optimistic po about this, what is your objective then?
The People's Initiative.
Okay.
It says here that once we present this bill to Congress, and there are similar bills in Congress right now, this will take precedence over those that have been presented.
But as you said, so many requirements. If I was a congressman, there's a million ways I can sabotage this, shoot it down.
But if there are 5.2 million signatures of people all over the country,
alam niyo yung problema dyan, isa-isa, sasabihin, okay, 5.2 million signatures.
Oo.
Isa-isa, at patunayan natin na tao talaga yan.
they will. They will.
Tapos,
Excuse me, we'll come to that when it comes.
Yeah.
Kasi we'll have to defend our position.
No, I'm just putting it, I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
Of course.
They will sabotage that.
For sure.
Yeah,
That
of course,
is to be
yeah.
expected,
Sure.
no?
Okay.
But these 2 million signatures, they will run the risk of these 5.2 million people not voting for them if they will not honor itong petition ng the people's petition.
That is why we're gathering now the support of the whole nation
Yes.
to support this petition.
And you know, Mr. Konanan, the Catholic Church is 100% supporting this. The Protestant churches, NCCP, UCCP, we have talked to them and they are supporting this 100%. And we're going to arm in Mindanao, and there are Muslim imams there who are willing to support this. So there's a groundswell.
You have to start somewhere. You
There's
have to
a
start
groundswell.
somewhere. Yes.
And I'm sure that with this groundswell, talagang parang a huge tsunami na papasok sa Congress.
Okay.
You know,
Gentlemen,
they will have no choice.
we have to pause for a break, but when we return, we're going to meet someone. You gentlemen will still be here, but we're going to meet someone, Malot Galenzoga,
Galenzoga.
and she is a former former mayoralty candidate and a prime example of the evils of political dynasty. So guys, stay tuned. More Philippines Uncut and politics and political dynasties when we return. Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is politics and political dynasties, and we've been having a very animated discussion with the two co-chairmen of the Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated, Mr. Quintin San Diego and Mr. Danilo Olivares, who are still with us in the studio. But we're now joined by a very lovely lady who will talk to us about her experience about the evils of political dynasties. Her name is Malot Galenzoga, former mayoralty candidate of Baybay City. So, Malot, welcome to Philippines Uncut. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Yes. Now, let's talk about your case. Let's talk about you first. Are you a politician? Have you been in politics for a long time? Matagal ka na ba sa
First
politika?
time.
First time? Okay.
At na-trauma.
No, okay, let's talk about your background. Ano po yung background ninyo?
Businesswoman.
Okay.
Before ako pumasok sa politics.
Okay. Okay. Now, bakit nyo naisipang tumakbo sa politika? If you said your first time, so your family is not a political family, wala kang uncle in power or your parents?
Distant relative.
How distant? Fourth degree ba yan? Kasi nadidima tagama, di bawal yan sa kanila. Anyway, okay, let's talk about bakit ka tumakbong mayor of Baybay City?
Actually, na-convince lang ako kasi yung academics at saka yung religious, for 32 years na kasi yung Loreto Cari Pitilla Dynasty in Leyte.
Okay.
Tapos nagpapalit-palit lang yung nanay sa anak.
Okay.
Kasi last term nung anak as mayor, so anak yung nanay naman. So yung nakalaban ko is yung 78 years old na nanay nung former mayor.
Okay. Okay. Ito nga sinabi mo na nagpapalit-palitan yung anak, yung ama, yung ina. This is reflective of the situation parang in so many other parts of the Philippines. So yung mga nakikinig at nanonood sa atin ngayon, sasabihin, ay ito rin nangyari sa amin. Di ba, Mr. Olivares?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. That's how a dynasty develops.
And you said nga, earlier you said 73 out of 80 provinces in the Philippines are controlled by dynasties. Now, balik naman tayo sa kaso mo, Malot. So, why did you run? You said no political background, the only politician in your family is an uncle, distantly related, etc., etc. Ba't ka tumakbo? Ba't mo pinasok itong magulong mundo ng politics?
Magaling talaga. Pero kasi yung Baybay kasi is city na, pero nakakaawa talaga siya. Wala kaming general hospital, no? City hospital. Tapos, pag gagamit ka ng ambulansya, kailangan mong magbayad ng 1,500 para sa ambulansya.
Wow.
Pero yung era ng Baybay is 456 million a year. Wow. Pero kahit gasolina...
ERA is, define it for our viewers. ERA, Internal Revenue Allotment. So, ibig sabihin yung budget ng Baybay City is again 400 plus million a year.
456
million. And yet, yung mga tao kailangan magbayad ng
1,500 para
sa ambulansya.
500 para sa gasolina, tapos 500 para sa driver, tapos 500 para sa nurse na sasama.
So, clarification. Let's say ako, taga Baybay City, meron akong let's say, heart attack. Kailangan ko magbayad sa ambulansya
1,500.
para isalba ko.
Oo, kasi kung hindi, magpapakamatay ka sa bahay mo.
And that's supposed to be free.
Oo.
That's supposed to be free, of course. Of course.
People's money.
At saka, yung Baybay, no, walang malaking barko. So, pag pupunta ng Cebu, kailangan pang pumunta ng neighboring towns para makasakay ng safe na barko kasi sobrang liit ng barko sa amin.
Okay, okay. So clearly talagang may pagkukulang ang management ng province at ng city. Now, okay, sino yung nag-udyok sa'yo para tumakbo? I mean, did a party, political party, or yung...
No political party.
Okay.
Basta nakita, kasi usually umuwi kami pag December and summer.
Okay.
One summer, nagpasyal kami ng sister ko, tapos nakita ko na ang dami palang talagang naghihirap sa syudad namin. Tapos meron pa ako na-meet na kumakain sila isang beses lang sa isang araw. Tapos pag may sakit yung family nila, ay yung member ng family nila, talagang helpless sila. So sabi ko, bakit ganito? Walang mga NGOs, wala lahat na tumutulong dun sa Leyte. So sabi ko, ano kaya ang kulang? Tapos nung nung na-research ko, sabi ko, city na pala yung baybay. So ang laki na pala nung era. Nung tinignan ko yung budget, meron ngang budget yearly for the public library. Pero kung pupunta kayo ng baybay, wala kaming public library. So, sana pupunta yung budget.
So may budget para sa library, pero until now, wala pang public library. So, okay, let's go to sino sumuporta sa'yo para tumakbo? Kasi going up against the Petilla clan, established 30 years in power, hindi ka ba natakot? Sino bang sumuporta sa'yo para tumakbo?
Financially ako, kasi nag-ipon ako.
Wow.
Talaga. Tapos, hindi ako nanghingi ng support kahit kanino in terms of financial.
Okay.
Pero, support naman sa tao, sa lahat ng religious sector, sa baybay, at saka yung academics, nasa akin.
Okay. Kamusta naging takbo ng kampanya mo? How was the campaign? I mean, okay, I said former mayoralty candidate, so obviously natalo ka. So
hindi natalo.
What was the campaign? I mean,
mahabang storya.
Okay, pero let's talk about the campaign. Anong nangyari sa kampanya?
Nung kampanya, mahirap, no? Kasi hindi ko alam na, di ba kasi public property ang mga gym. Pero pag 92 barangays kasi ang Baybay City. So pag gagamit kami ng gym sa barangay, hindi kami pwedeng gumamit. Kasi sasabihin ng barangay captain na hindi pwede kasi kay Mayor Carry ito, kay Congressman Carry itong gym. So kami, nasa labas kami at one time nga, uso ang kuratsa sa amin kasi Leyte. So kailangan kong sumayaw sa putikan. So naawa yung mga tao sa akin. Kaya pagbalik ko, 50% lang ako dun sa barangay na yun. Pero pag alis ko ng barangay, mas dumami yung tao sa akin kasi naawa sila. Oo.
Okay. What about election violence? Kasi syempre, you were going up against an established political clan. Sabi nga ni Mr. Olivares, maraming natatakot dahil may private armies to mga to, may muscle, may political muscle, may goons, lahat. Anong nangyari dun sa kampanya mo? Anong experience mo dun sa aspetong yun?
Na binabato kami, no? Tapos pagtatawag ka ng pulis, tapos na. Bago dumating yung pulis kasi nasa kanila din yung mga pulis. Tapos one time pinaputukan kami ng barangay captain. Tapos nagsumbong kami. Imagine nahulihan na siya ng baril, hindi siya inaresto. So ganun ka,
I understand na meron kang din lang mga litrato dito sa station. And so, ipapalabas natin mga pictures and tell us a bit about these pictures.
Kasi,
ito, example ito.
During the election day, no,
what's this?
Bago pa yan, kasi nag-rally kami noong June 13.
Ito after election.
Bakit meron kami mga series of rallies? Kasi pino-protest namin yung illegal composition nung nag-proclaim kay Carmen Carry.
Okay. But tell us a bit about what we're looking at. Yan. I mean, what are these mga images?
After the rally, no, umuwi kami sa bahay namin.
Okay.
Ang nangyari,
I mean, who are these people? Sino tong...
ayan yung cameraman ko na binugbog ng mga pulis.
Okay.
Kasi niransak nila yung bahay namin dahil uhulihin daw kami sa hot pursuit na case.
Okay. Itong picture naman na maraming nakadapa. Ano to?
Nire-raid yung bahay ko without search warrant and warrant of arrest.
So this is your private residence na nire-raid? Bakit? Anong reason?
Unang-una, nandun yung mga police at saka yung army, yung 78 battalion.
Okay, here we can see army vehicles.
Battalion, Tapos kasama yung brigade pa.
Ba't kayo pinasok? Bakit? I mean, you're a mayoralty candidate. Ba't nilusob kayo ng army, ng police? Bakit?
Kasi daw, nagkagulo daw yung rally. Pero kung nakikita nyo, unang hinampas ng pulis yung isang kasamahan namin tsaka yung cameraman ko. So nung hinampas na siya, inaawat ng mga tao, tapos binato na kami ng mga pulis, may dalang bato. After nun...
Okay, what's this? This is yung rally na sinasabi mo?
Oo, yung rally na. So, nag-disperse kami kasi sabi nung chief of police na pag hindi kami nag-disperse, aarestohin kami or aanuhan kami.
Ito mga to, these are your supporters?
Yan yung cook namin sa bahay namin.
Yung cook mo?
Kinaladkad siya nung... yung isa...
Okay.
Yan yung camera reporter ng Sunstar Cebu. Binugbog din siya kasi pinipilit kunin yung camera niya.
Now, all these people we see are your employees, mga tao sa bahay or mga supporters. Okay, supporters.
Bakit nasa compound sila? Kasi after the rally, yung sumakay ng bus, pinaghahampas, pinagbubugbog, tapos kinulong na sila.
Ng pulis?
Ng pulis. So sabi namin, para safe, dito na kayo magpa-umaga. Kasi parang
This is
delikado.
the interior of your house. Ito yung loob ng bahay
bahay
niyo.
nila.
Sa loob na
Okay.
ng bahay namin.
Pinasok talaga hanggang second floor. This is parang raid.
Oo, tapos niransak yung mga kwarto, kinuha yung mga jewelries namin, yung mga relo.
Pero on what grounds? Anong hinahanap nila sa bahay mo?
Ako
Dapat sila
daw,
pumasok.
hinahanap nila ako, oo.
Hinahanap ka. Bakit? For what reason? Kasi nanggulo ka raw sa rally? Or?
Uhulihin nila ako.
Okay, sino to?
Siya,
Yung
yun nakatayo.
cameraman ko.
Okay.
Yun nakatayo, yun.
Wow. Wow.
So, kung nakikita nyo, yung talagang grabe yung human rights violation. Yan yun sa detention center na sila.
Okay.
Kasi inaresto lahat, no? About 700 ng supporters ko.
Okay.
Dinala sa city jail.
Yes, yes. Now, how can you tie this up to the Pipilya clan? Paano mo alam na ito'y kagagawan nila?
Kasi si Mayor Carey, pamangkin niya si DOA Secretary Ikot Pitilla.
Okay.
And
okay.
nung nangyari yan, nung July 1, dumating si Ikot Pitilla, naka-chopper siya. Tapos sinasabi niya na wala nang problema yung mami ko. Ay, yung auntie ko kasi nahuli na nga daw ako sa Tacloban. Tapos nagpa-post pa sila sa Manila Bulletin ng 500 pesos para sa may reward yung lahat ng makakapagturo kung saan ako. Kasi tumakas ako eh.
Okay, so paano na-resolve yan? Okay, nandito ka ngayon, tapos na eleksyon. Ano nangyari pagkatapos? Fast forward natin, what happened?
Ang nangyari, kailangan kong umalis dun sa bahay namin kasi may isang pulis na nagsabi sa akin na, ma'am, hindi ka nila bubuhayin. So, alam ko mataas ang pader nyo, so kung makakaalis ka pa, umalis ka na.
Okay. So now, you've lost the election. Okay, I mean, ibang issue. That's rather mahabang sabi mo nga, mahabang kwento. Pero now, fact of the matter is, yung opponent mo will be sworn in very soon as...
Actually, tatlong beses na siya nag-oath taking.
Tatlong beses na.
At saka, yun ang nasa COMELEC ngayon, national, kasi illegal yung composition nung nag-proclaim sa kanya. So, hindi valid yung proclamation ni Carmen Carey. Yun yung... Kaya, bakit kami nandun noong June 30? Kasi, inaano namin na kailangan mag-step down si Carmen Carey. Kasi, di ba, yung June 30 at 12 noon, hindi na siya, wala na siyang mandate.
Yes, yes.
Kasi under dun sa illegal composition, hindi valid yung proclamation nila.
Yes. Wow. So, okay, my last question for you is, ano na yung next move mo ngayon? I mean, what do you plan?
Nag-file na kami ng mga cases sa ombudsman against dun sa military and police. Tapos tomorrow, Friday, magpa-file naman ako yung complaint ko.
Kasi you're a businesswoman, so I assume marami kang interest sa Baybay City.
Wala kaming negosyo sa Baybay kasi ang carry is hindi ka pwedeng kung opposition ka, walang negosyo sa opposition doon. Kung makikita mo nga, may isang Shell doon na gas station. Hanggang ngayon, walang permit yun. Nag-ooperate without permit. Pero may 4 na gasoline station na Petron owned by the Carry.
Hindi ka ba natatakot ngayon para sa buhay mo?
Natatakot. Pero wala na eh. Di ba? Pagkatapos ng takot, di ba, wala na natitira.
Any regrets say about running? No regrets. So, yeah, please.
Rewind lang, ano?
Yeah.
Yung si Mayor Carey was proclaimed the winner after 25% only of the ballots have been counted.
25%.
25% lang. And in the final counting, ikaw ang panalo, hindi ba?
Yeah, go, please.
You know that, buddy? In the final counting, she won by 5,000 votes.
Yeah.
No? So she has all the right to file
Pero hindi nila
Wait, in the final counting, you won by 5,000. You won
5,193.
by 5,193 votes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pero hindi ako pinaupo, no? At hindi din siya papayag kasi inuulit-ulit niya na valid yung proclamation niya.
Na-proclaim
na siya.
After 25% of ballots have been counted, proclaim na eh.
So 25% count, after 25% only, she was proclaimed, and yet in the final counting, it shows that you won over her by 5,193
Tsaka
votes.
nag-proclaim sa kanya, hindi valid
illegal composition
of
City
Board of Canvassers.
Wow.
Illegal composition.
Talagang parang bastusan na nangyari talaga. Bastusan na. So, Mr. Olivares, Mr. San Diego, itong case ni Malot, okay, number one, in the media, you hardly heard of this. I mean, grabe yung mga images that you showed us. I mean, very graphic, very powerful images. And I'm surprised na hindi ito na media masyado, di ba? And then number two, how common is this kind of occurrence in the 73 out of 80 provinces.
All over the country.
That, this kind of thing.
Yes,
this is
yes.
not isolated. This is not an isolated incident. Yung nangyari kay Malot. Strong arm tactics
Yung mga
using police,
negosyo na
military.
kontrolado ng mga mayor, may bago, hindi bibigyan ng permit.
Poverty, walang library, walang ambulansya.
It's all over the country.
like that,
As long as they have control.
And then, yung kanilang mga supporters, yun lang ang binibigyan ng pabor. Di ba? Siyempre, they use the pork barrel to buy the loyalty of people.
Yeah.
Pero yung mga kaaway, walang benepisyo.
Kasi alam mo, buddy, in a town or in a province,
Yes.
if you want to serve as judge there, kailangan may blessing ng ng congressman, di ba?
Parang
Kung
mafia.
meron ka posisyon na, kailangan dumaan ka sa kanila. Yan ang dynasty.
So it's not just about the positions of congressman, it's also about all the other government
other-
positions in the
yeah.
province.
Lahat yan, kontrolado
In fact, ang sinasabi nga namin, that's why we're even against the SK, Sangguniang Kabataan. Kasi yan ang training ground ngayon ng mga pamilya. Training ground yan para pag yung iba magre-retire na, may nakapalit na kagad.
Para pagka merong kapalit, meron ng experience yung kanilang mga anak-anak dyan.
Hindi, pero what I don't understand is, okay, we saw police going into your residence, pati mga army, ganyan. I mean, how come these politicians have such control over the security forces? Lalo na security forces alam naman, centralized yan di ba? Centralized sa Camp Crame, centralized sa Camp Aguinaldo. Ba't
Tingnan mo
lakas
lang yung
ng copy nila?
ampatuan. Why did the military act that way? Why did the PNP act that way?
Kasi kailangan
That's the
niya
best
ng
example.
recommendation. Pagka promotion, kailangan din ng
I guess.
recommendation.
Imagine, walang search warrant, walang warrant of arrest, wawasakin lang yung gate ng bahay, papasukin, tututukan ng armalite yung mga tao, pahihigain sa floor.
Kasama ba sa complaint niyo yung commander ng police, yung commander of the army? I mean,
It's blatant.
who are these people? If you can mention their names on air?
Yung si Colonel Rafael Valencia.
Okay, he's the commander of the...
Philippine Army.
Pero which
82nd
unit?
Brigade. 82nd Brigade.
82nd Brigade.
Tapos yung 78 IB ng battalion.
Yes.
Si Colonel Bahaw, Adonis Bahaw.
Adonis Bahaw,
Tapos
okay.
yung Police Superintendent ng Baybay, si Carlito Gallardo.
Yes.
At saka yung kung nakikita mo, yun ang bugbog sa photographer ko, police mismo.
Yes. Alam niyo, I'm mentioning this because Mr. Olivares knows me very well, and my late father was a general in the army, and precisely why nangyari na 86 yung 1986 kasi ayaw na nga natin makita na ginagamit yung mga men in uniform for this kind of
Yung pala
kalokohan.
nangyayari
pa hanggang ngayon. It's been how many years since 27 years, 28 years since EDSA.
Yes.
It's still happening.
Even the judge, bagitin mo yung si judge.
Kasi yung judge is the first cousin ni Mayor. So, pag mag-bail kami para sa mga tao namin, kailangan pa namin pumunta sa neighboring town kasi ayaw niya magpirma ng bail.
Grabe.
Tapos yung fiscal, sobrang laki ng bail. Excessive bail. 36,000 for sedition.
Per person, ha?
Per person.
Lahat yan may blessings nila. Lahat yan.
Tapos yung CHR sa Region 8, in fact, ang dami nakadetain na hindi pinailan ng case, pero 10 days na-detain.
Yes.
It's illegal.
Yes,
That's
yes,
illegal
yes.
detention.
Yes.
Ngayon, buddy, pagka
Yes.
walang dynasty, magsusumbungan niya mga yan, sila. Hindi pwede yan.
May check and balance, may control in a way. Ito wala.
Ako, mayor, ikaw nga congressman, hindi pwede yan.
Yes.
Hindi
Ito, it's all in the family.
Sumbong kita, paano mo susumbong yung lolo mo? Kagaya sa Bicol, lolo. Alam mo, pinag-aawayan nila ron. Lupa ng bayan. Lupa ng Bicol.
Biliperte,
Yes,
So,
yes.
they try to cover up.
So it's a sickening society.
Situation.
Okay, gents and ladies, and lady, realistically, paano natin maayos itong problema sa politika natin? Obviously, political dynasty is the root of many evils in your province, in your city, in many other provinces, many other cities. Paano natin maayos to? Now, the people's petition is one, but, again, we can expect a lot of problems going with that through Congress, diba? So, but realistically, what can be done?
Ako
Yes.
umpisahan ko
Please.
Kung talagang ang presidente natin sincere about all these
Daang matuwid.
daang matuwid, tanggalin tong pork barrel kasi ito ang gasolina na nagpapasiklab sa kagustuhan ng mga dynasties na magkaroon ng power. Yun ang fuel
That's the design, pera. Yes.
Pera yan That's power, And then yung dynasty, it means power, control over a city, a town, a province, a region, So tanggalin yung dynasty na yan. Walang pork barrel. Pag walang pork barrel, walang magpupursiging maggano ng dynasty. Kasi walang gasolina, walang pera, di ba? So these two. Pagkatapos, education. Kailangan i-educate natin ang kabataan na yung evils of dynasty. No? Upang pagtanda nila, pagboboto na sila, even from the grade school level, pagboboto na sila, alam nila yung kasamaan nito. Hindi na nila iboboto.
Yes,
No?
yes.
And then, media like you, no? Like radio, television, press, should really support this campaign. It's really for the good of the country.
Okay, okay. Now, unfortunately, we've come to the end of our show almost, but let's have some last words quickly from, let's start po with ladies first. Malon.
Yung sa akin, no, kasi kung titingnan mo yung problema ng baybay talaga, parang wala kaming mapuntahan. Kasi unang-una, yung dynasty na kalaban ko is member ng cabinet ni Presidente. So ang akin lang na, alam ko naman na kung malalaman siguro ng Presidente to kasi ang hirap, wala kang access, di ba? Kasi yung Presidente...
Mag-appeal ka ngayon kay President Aquino. Baka siya nanonood ngayon. Please. Sabihin mo sa kanya.
Kasi kawawa, katulad ng mga nakakulong pa na iba na tino-torture pa. So, ang akin lang, saan kami pupunta kung hindi na kami napapakinggan sa Region 8? Lahat na po, nilapitan na namin ng agency sa Region 8, pero talagang bulag at pipi sila. Kaya kami tumakas na makarating sa national para ma-broadcast sa national at makahingi ng tulong sa national. Pero 2 weeks na po kami dito, parang lahat, no? Parang yung dyaryo, limited ang lumalabas tungkol dito sa harassment. Tapos nakakalungkot kasi dun sa Davao narinig ko na yung CHR chairman, si Eta Rosales is concerned siya dun sa criminals na nahuli, no, ni Mayor Duterte. Pero yung sa amin, 700 plus po ang naagrabyado human rights victim sa baybay.
Yes.
Kung pupunta kayo doon.
At hindi sila kriminal.
Oo, at hindi sila kriminal.
Hindi sila kriminal.
Tapos, victim po kami ng harassment ng political dynasty at ng mga militar at ng pulis. Kaya nakikiusap ako na sana bigyan nyo naman ng pansin yung baybay. Kasi kawawa po. Imagine, 4 years old na bata, pag nakakita po ng pulis, tumatakbo, sabi, dapa, dapa. So, ano pong mangyayari sa baybay?
Okay. Now, we have 1 minute to end. Last words from Mad. Who would like to speak?
Ako tapos na.
Sige. Mr.
Yes,
Santiago.
para sa akin po, address ko na ito sa buong bansa. Marami na akong frustrated sa nangyayari dito. Marami na kanya-kanya nagtatayo ng mga opposition sa mga napakaraming issues. Kaya short of shouting for calling for a revolution, kasi frustrated na ang tao eh. But there is still this avenue for us to correct everything with one shot. And this is the charter change. Lumabas yan bago at mismo si Belmonte nagtulak niyan. Palagay ko lahat ho tayong may mga samang loob sa gobyerno o sa palakad sa buong sitwasyon na ganito. Idaan na ho natin sa charter change. Magka isa-isa na tayo, itulak na natin ang charter change at lahat ho yan. Lahat ho na reklamo natin, i-elevate na natin doon at gawa na natin ang paraan para pag merong bagong konstitusyon, makakasiguro tayo na magbabago na ang political situation dito sa bansa.
Very well said. Mr. San Diego, Mr. Alvarez, thank you very much po. And
Thank you, buddy.
Mabuhay po kayo in your MAD and in your movement against political dynasty. More power to you po.
Thank you.
And Manot, keep up the good
Thank
fight
you.
and rest assured that we here in Independent Free Media are behind you 100%.
Thank you.
Thank
Sana
you.
huwag
Thank
kayo
you.
matadala sa tulong sa amin.
Of course, we're here to GNN
Yes.
and we are here to help you po in this
Kami,
cause.
tuloy-tuloy kami.
We're with
Hanggang
you.
sa 2016 election, tuloy-tuloy ang laban namin. Tuloy-tuloy.
Thank you very much po. So guys, I hope you learned a lot about politics and political dynasties. Join us again next year in the show where we talk about what matters to you because you guys matter the most. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay, pumuna tayo kasi we still have
our culture. But could dynasties be keeping the Philippines from achieving its full potential? The following are 5 points on political dynasties in the Philippines. First, let's define dynasty as a family that has several members in elected government positions. Famous examples of political dynasties include the Lees from Singapore, the Duvaliers of Haiti, the Zhongs of North Korea, the Gandhis of India, and the Kennedys and the Bushes from the United States of America. In the US, political dynasties comprise about 6% of its legislators, while in the Philippines, dynasties make up a staggering 70% of the 15th Congress, excluding the Senate, if only to ensure their continued political survival. In the Philippines, the Constitution expressly prohibits political dynasties as may be defined by law. However, numerous attempts at actually crafting an anti-dynasty bill have been met with either indifference or strong opposition.
Good evening, ladies and
According
gentlemen.
to
Welcome
their
to Philippines Uncut. I am your host, Buddy Cunanan, and this show we talk about everything under the sun. And tonight's topic is about politics and political dynasties. And this is very timely as we've just recently concluded our midterm elections and are waiting in bated anticipation for the opening of the next Congress and President Aquino's State of the Nation address. Joining us now to talk about politics and political dynasties are two gentlemen who are very much involved in this issue. And joining us is Mr. Quintin Paredes San Diego, who is the chairman of the Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated.
And opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Political dynasties are part of our history and
Mad. Good evening, Mr. San Diego.
Good evening.
Good evening po. And joining him is Mr. Danilo Olivares, who is the co-chairman of MAD, or Movement Against Political Dynasty Incorporated.
Good evening.
Good evening po.
Good evening.
Welcome to Philippines Uncut, and I'm glad ho that you are here, you two gentlemen, because this is a topic that we are really all following and a topic that we are all also very frustrated with.
That's right. Yeah.
So now to get the ball rolling, let's talk about you gentlemen muna. Starting with Mr. Quintin, tell us about your background po.
Well, I'm 73 years old, senior citizen right now. I'm still active in business. I am more a farmer than a developer. I used to be a developer, a real estate man. That's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Kayo man po, Mr. Olivares.
Well, I'm a retired activist because I've been an activist since the death.
In the Philippines, a few from a long list include the Aquinos, the Marcoses, and the Arroyos. Dynasties in Congress also dominate the major political parties.
How do political families or dynasties affect governments and economies, especially in democratic countries?
Lee Kuan Yew is one of the world's longest-serving leaders, as Singapore's Prime Minister from 1959 to 1990 and Senior Minister and Minister Mentor until 2011. When his son eventually took over leadership in 2004, Singapore remained a wealthy country despite recent economic challenges. A more adverse view is the stationary bandit, where dynasties guarantee their constituents a certain level of development